year is 1880, and the Second Anglo-Afghan War raged on. The campaign had gone well for the British. They had defeated various Afghan tribes, and they had occupied numerous cities and towns, including Jalalabad. After a series of military actions, the British installed Ayub Khan as Emir of Afghanistan, hoping to secure a friendly government. After the British installed Ayub Khan as a puppet emir in Kabul, Ayub Khan, the son of the former Emir Sher Ali and the governor of Herat, refused to recognize this settlement. Instead, he declared his own claim to the Afghan throne. With a strong base in the west and significant support from tribes and disaffected factions, Ayub assembled a large force to march on Kandahar, a vital city in southern Afghanistan and a British stronghold at the time. Estimates place Ayub Khan's army at 10,000 to 12,000 men, though some reports suggest it may have been even higher due to the influx of tribal volunteers along the march to Kandahar. To counter Ayub's advance, General Burrows mustered a mixed force of about 2,500 British and Indian troops. This included a few hundred men from Indian cavalry units like the Bombay Light Cavalry, along with several artillery pieces. General Burrows was tasked with intercepting the Afghan forces moving from Herat toward Kandahar. However, several issues plagued Burrows's campaign from the outset. His troops were already fatigued and undersupplied, and intelligence on Ayub's movements was sparse and often unreliable. In an early move, Burrows attempted to halt Ayub's progress by seizing Afghan artillery left behind by a mutinous Afghan regiment at Girishk, but this only served to provoke Ayub further. Burrows then fell back to a position at Kushki-Nakud, halfway to Kandahar, where he could intercept Ayub Khan if he headed for either Ghazni or Kandahar. He remained there a week, during which time the captured guns were added to his force with additional gunners drawn from the British infantry. Burrows significantly underestimated the size and capability of Ayub Khan's force. Expecting to face an ill-equipped and poorly trained army, he advanced toward the village of Maiwand, unaware that he was walking into the path of a highly motivated and numerically superior opponent. On the afternoon of the 26th of July, information was received that the Afghan force was making for the Maiwand Pass a few miles away. At dawn, the next day, Burrows advanced toward Maiwand, believing he would face a small vanguard of Ayub's army. Scouts had reported only limited enemy movement, and intelligence grossly underestimated the size and capability of the Afghan force. By this point, the Afghans numbered 25,000. I would like to introduce you to today's sponsor, Private Internet Access. Browsing the internet with an unencrypted connection is like sending an opened postcard through the mail. It can easily be viewed by strangers. When you browse the internet without encryption, anyone who intercepts the data can see the information. There's no protection or secrecy, making it easy for sensitive details to be exposed. A virtual private network, or VPN, is an app that hides your IP address and safeguards your internet connection. Private Internet Access is the world's most transparent VPN provider, with over 30 million downloads. When you have online businesses, such as a YouTube channel, confidentiality and trust are paramount. This is why I personally use this VPN. Features include changing your IP address to any of 91 countries or all 50 US states, helping you access region-restricted websites and services. This also works with major streaming services, so you can watch your favorite historical movies online, such as The 300, by changing your geolocation to Portugal. Available for all platforms, you can use one subscription for multiple devices at a time. By using my link, you can get 83% off, making it just $2.03 per month, plus 4 months free. In the meantime, Burrows had prepared his men for battle. Burrows had chosen a poor defensive position in open terrain with little natural cover and no secure retreat route. His forces were spread thin, with vulnerable flanks, and his cavalry was unable to effectively screen or respond to Afghan movements. The battle began with a huge artillery duel. For 3 hours, each side endured a fierce bombardment. During the battle, the British guns on the left expended their ammunition and withdrew to replenish it. This resulted in the Afghan troops launching an attack on the British left. The left flank, comprising Indian infantry regiments, gave way and rolled in a great wave to the right. The 66th Regiment of Foot, as a result of this pressure, was swept away by the pressure of the attack. The British Army was now in full retreat. E Battery of B Brigade Royal Horse Artillery stood fast, covering the retreat of the entire British brigade. E Battery kept firing until the last moment, limbering up when the Afghans were 15 yards away, but the third section was overrun. Amidst the retreat, a small detachment of men from the 66th Regiment of Foot, along with Indian soldiers from the Bombay Grenadiers, made a desperate final stand in a walled garden near the village of Kig. Severely outnumbered and low on ammunition, roughly 11 officers and 164 men resolved to hold their position to the last. Gradually, their ammunition exhausted, the men fixed bayonets and fought hand to hand. Surrounded, they fought on until all were dead or dying. When Ayub Khan's forces overran the position, they were so impressed by the ferocity of the stand that they spared some of the wounded and buried the dead with a measure of honor. Only a few men survived the last stand. In all, over 900 British and Indian soldiers were killed, with many more wounded or captured during the chaotic retreat to Kandahar. In addition to the British losses, roughly 3,500 Afghan fighters were also killed, meaning heavy losses were suffered by both sides. The battle became a legendary moment in Afghan history. Although the British would later regroup and win the Battle of Kandahar under General Roberts, the Maiwand defeat left a deep scar on British military pride and highlighted the perils of underestimating local resistance in imperial wars.